Howdy, everyone. It's Reese, aka Bearman Prime, on this August 17th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thank you again for joining me. God bless you all. Card in the top right hand corner for the rest of the playlist. And please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. Sure do appreciate it. So, yesterday we touched on a couple of, really deep subjects, one of which was the idea of true wealth, where Jesus is, you know, really poking at the Pharisees for their love of money. The Pharisees loved money, even though they would never admit it. Okay. But what Jesus was trying to say is that that is not true wealth. True wealth is what you do with that money. And what you do with it is furthering God's kingdom. When you use the gifts and talents and treasures that you've been given to further God's kingdom by helping others, serving others, loving others, that is true wealth. You will be building up true wealth in heaven by doing that. Okay. Not by hoarding money, but by using it for the sake of others. Okay. Let's continue on. Let's go back to Luke chapter 16 today and pick it up in verse 19, where Jesus is going to tell us about another story about the rich man and Lazarus. Verse 19. Jesus said, "There was a rich man who always dressed in the finest clothes. He was so rich that he was able to enjoy all the best things every day. There was also a very poor man named Lazarus. Lazarus' body was covered with sores. He was often put by the rich man's gate. Lazarus wanted only to eat the scraps of food left on the floor under the rich man's table, and the dogs came and licked his sores. Later, Lazarus died. The angels took him and placed him in the arms of Abraham. The rich man also died and was buried. He was sent to the place of death and was in great pain. He saw Abraham far away with Lazarus in his arms. He called, 'Father Abraham, have mercy on me. Send Lazarus to me so that he can dip his finger in water and cool my tongue. I am suffering in this fire.' But Abraham said, 'My child, remember when you lived? You had all the good things in life, but Lazarus had nothing but problems. Now he is comforted here. You are suffering. Also, there is a big pit between you and us. No one can cross over to help you. No one can come here from there.' The rich man said, 'Then please, Father Abraham, send Lazarus to my father's house on earth. I have 5 brothers. He could warn my brothers so that they will not come to this place of pain.' But Abraham said, 'They have the law of Moses and the writings of the prophets to read. Let them learn from that.' The rich man said, 'No, Father Abraham. But if someone came to them from the dead, then they would decide to change their lives.' But Abraham said to him, 'If your brothers won't listen to Moses and the prophets, they won't listen to someone who comes back from the dead.'" All right. So let's just kind of go through that together and talk it out, right? So we have rich man, okay? Rich man has all the good things in life. He dresses in the finest clothes. He eats the finest foods. He's got the biggest house, all the things. He's got all the things. On the other hand, we have poor Lazarus here. Lazarus is just the lowest of low people, covered in painful sores, probably skin and bones, and he's got scraggly hair. And he just waits by the rich man's gate every day, hoping that he just get like a scrap of food, just something to fall from his table. But we see, or we're left to infer, that the rich man does nothing for Lazarus. He just ignores him and passes by while he enjoys all the good things. He has to be aware that Lazarus is there. Okay, he hangs out by his gate every day, so he's got to know that he's there. He has to have seen him, but he decides not to do anything. And then a time comes where they both die. Lazarus goes up into heaven and is welcomed into heaven by Abraham, patriarch, right? Okay, that's a big deal for the Jews. But then the rich man dies. He goes down to the place of death. He goes down to the lake of fire, right? And he's suffering. He's in pain all the time. He's going to be suffering for eternity now. And he's begging Abraham to send Lazarus to, just dip his finger in water to cool his tongue. And Abraham tells him, "Remember when you were alive? You saw Lazarus every day when you left your house. You could have done something for him. You could have helped him, given him food, water, clothes, medicine. He had nothing but trouble. He had nothing but problems. And now it's too late. He is here being comforted, but you are getting your just reward. And there is no way, it is impossible to go from lake fire heaven, and it is impossible to go the other way too, from heaven down to the lake of fire. Okay, that's important. That's true. That will be true now until eternity. Okay, if you go down to the lake of fire in times, you have no hope of getting out. Which is why I'm imploring you. I keep imploring you guys to accept God into your lives, accept Jesus into your hearts, and accept God's grace now while you can, so that doesn't happen to you. Okay? And then the rich man is, again, pleads with Abraham to let Lazarus go to his brothers to warn them about what happened to him so that they can avoid his fate. But Abraham counters with that they have the law. They should be following the law. If they don't, why are they going to listen to a dead man? Okay. They have the law of Moses. They have the writings of the prophets. That should be the guiding force in their lives. They should be following those rules, according to their traditions. Learn from that, right? But if they don't, they will share in the rich man's fate. Okay. So, what does that mean for us? Do we have to follow the law of Moses? No. Do we have to follow the teaching of the prophets? No. But we do need to obey God and his commands. And his commands are love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? We do those two things and the law is fulfilled. Love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as you love yourself. All right, well, that's all for today. We're going to pick it up there tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me. I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.